want to welcome, on behalf of Shirley, Ken and Yvette, Kenny's parents, I'd like to welcome you to Kedleston Hall, a beautiful setting for a beautiful couple. So who is it that Kenny's married? They've been together for 3.5 years now, so you should know. But for those of you that don't know Rebecca that well, we'll put you in the picture. You asked for it. She very quickly developed a personality and mind of her own. After Mummy and Daddy, and I'm sure it was Daddy that come first, the first sentence she put together was, "I'll do it my own self." Her do it my own self stubbornness often turned to downright bad temper, and an example of this was one Christmas when she got her first two-wheel bike. We'd hidden it round at our next door neighbours, and on Christmas Eve I went round to get it ready for Christmas morning, which included fitting the trainer wheels. And I'd be waiting with the camera to capture the look on the faces when they walked into the room. When she got her bike, her face lit up. That is until she started to examine the bike and ask what the trainer wheels were for. I explained that they were to stop you falling off while you're learning to ride. Deborah's bike hasn't got them on. The conversation was getting a bit grumpy now. I don't want them on mine, so off they came. After we'd opened the rest of the presents and had breakfast, Becca was keen to get out on a bike, so we tootled across the road. Becca, me and Grandad Bradley, because Noel and Jim were staying with us that Christmas. Over to Spa Common, where there's plenty of grass and no cars. So we start off on the footpath that runs across the common. Off she goes with Grandad holding onto the seat, jogging along behind. "Let go, Grandad, let go." The inevitable happened 5 yards further on, and the bike and Becca are in a heap. She gets up, back on again, Grandad holding the back of the bike. Off she goes, another 5 yards, "Let go, Grandad," and she's in a heap again. Well, this repeated itself about 4 times, till she got up, grabbed hold of the handlebars and flung the bike as far as she could. She then turns and started stomping off back to the house, shouting, "I hate that bike." After she learned to ride the bike, the stubbornness turned to tenacity, something she shows today in a distance running. Without further ado, I'd like to read a quote that I pinched off the internet. It is written, "When children find true love, parents find true joy." So here's to your joy and ours. So I'd like you to please be upstanding and join me in a toast to the happy couple.
Thank you all for coming. We know some of you have travelled a long way, like my old army friends and various other people. So yeah, and we're all so happy that you've made the effort to actually come and spend the day with us. And everyone's made an awesome effort, except our Ryan, who looks like he's slept in his suit as usual. Right, so my first thank yous for my mum and dad, Ken and Yvette. They've been a true inspiration to me and my brothers. They've been through some really rough times, both as a couple and as our parents, if I'm honest. You know, from stolen cars, drunken parties, midnight calls from the police, arrests on Christmas Eve, and that was just me. And then they had another 2 after that. So yeah, they've done really well. And now
you tell me.
And through it all, they've kept
we
well.
Need a session, John.
Through it all, they've kept not necessarily calm, but at least sane, which is all you can really hope for, isn't it? You know. They've always been supportive, and when things have gone wrong for me, they've always helped me pick up the pieces. And Mum and Dad, thank you for always being there. Next, I suppose, is the in-laws, obviously, traditionally. So, John and Shirley, I don't even know where to start, but with my thank yous, honestly. Thanks for welcoming me into your family, even after I threw port all over your new cream sofa. Thank you for raising Becca, a truly amazing daughter, who I'm so happy and proud to call my wife. Aww. Finally, thank you for today, this amazing, beautiful day. And God knows we've had arguments about things that were going to happen on the day, but it's gone amazingly, and I can't thank the pair of you enough, and Becca and Shirley for your organisational abilities. I would say it was organised with military precision, but anyone who served will know that's nonsense. The Army have never organised anything as well as this wedding's been organised. So that'll be our first toast, ladies and gentlemen. If you can all stand up, please. To the parents.
To the parents.
And finally, I'd like to talk about my wife, Becca. We went out for a few years and we had some ups and downs, as everyone does, I suppose. I think we've argued about everything from white and blue dresses to whether pillows should go above or under the duvet on a maid bed. That was a recent one, actually. That was about 2 weeks ago. Yeah. But for the most part, we're very happy in our little shoebox of a flat. We've had some great times, we've had great adventures. We've been walking in Greece, we've been skiing in Austria. I skied, I don't know what she was doing. And we've run through London in flip-flops and then missed the end of the marathon. And then there was a time I got us and a trio of pensioners lost in a bog in Scotland.
I was making Sunday dinner. I managed to get out of that one.
And I'm really excited to see what we do next. Can't wait for our next adventure.
You lost them, mate.
The proposal was yet another adventure. So we'd gone to Keswick for the mountain festival, and we'd agreed. I'd managed to convince Nick and Kev, who we'd gone up with. They were in on the secret, really, but I made some lame excuse that me and Beck should go walking as just a couple and have a day just a couple. I'm pretty sure she knew she was getting a ring at this point. I'd say the venue was booked, it was coming at some point. So we set off to Catbells, is where we wanted to go walking, but it turned out when we got to the lake was too choppy and you couldn't cross. So we had to then quick scout at the map and decide we were going to go up Waller Crag instead. So we set off up Waller Crag, and about a mile in, there's Kev and Nick coming the other way up the track. Sort of taking the wind out of my sails a bit here, gents. So we carried on up the mountain, as you insist on calling it, me and Beck. It's a big hill. So we carried on to the top, and as we got nearer the top, the weather got a bit more miserable. And Beck decided that she'd walked enough. 300 metres from the top. I could have spat to the top. Beck decides she's had enough, and she goes, I'm not going any further. So, muttering under my breath, I suppose I'll just do this here then, dropped to one knee and proposed halfway up some nondescript mountain. My lovely romantic proposal that I'd planned, gone. So I suppose what really drew me to Becca is her intelligence and her zest for life. I love how she'll try anything once, even if it's just because I'm doing it and she won't let me do anything she's not done. She's got no interest in running a marathon, doing Go Ape, or paintballing, or Tough Mudder, but she'll do them just because I'm doing them, and she won't have me do something she hasn't.
I'm not competitive though.
I love that she supports me through thick and thin. Like a couple of years ago when I lost my job and I was delivering pizzas, she never once complained. She just bore with it, and she was always supportive, and I love that about her.
She got fed up with pizza though, didn't she?
I love how she makes me laugh even after I've had an awful day at work. She always makes me laugh. I love how she tolerates all my little mad idiosyncrasies and my mad hobbies. I have some mad hobbies. At one point I bought 5 kilos of wicker and soaked it in the bath for 2 days and then just gave it away because I decided I was bored of it now. And she just laughed. She just lets me crack on, and I love that. And I love how driven and ambitious she is, and I love the fact that she's taken the plunge to set up her own business and follow her dream and become an amazing personal trainer. And I think what I love most about Becca is her kindness and her compassion. She's always willing to drop everything and drive to a friend's house. She's willing to put aside an argument if someone needs support, and no matter how much I bump my gums about my day at work, she just sits and she's always compassionate. No matter how bad her day's been, she's always happy to let me be my shoulder to cry on. I'm really looking forward to the rest of our lives together. I can't think of a more beautiful, driven, intelligent woman. And I count myself the luckiest man alive that you've agreed to spend the rest of our lives. I can't wait to walk down life's road beside you, my best friend, perfect partner and wife, Rebecca.
Here we go. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the groom's youngest brother and the best man he could find to stand by his side today, which I can only assume is because he's got no friends. Kenneth Guest III was born on 28th of September 1982 and named after his father and grandfather. Whatever, who gives a rendering him the hair and outright boy wonder. See, Kenny was always the favourite, where I was a bit of a wild child. It's hard for me to admit, but if we hadn't been brothers, my parents probably wouldn't let me play with him. But the boy wonder ain't perfect. He ain't perfect. He's made mistakes, some of which I'm excited to share with you all today. When writing this speech, I thought a lot about what a wife wants from a husband, and in particular, what Becca might want from our Kenny in marriage.
Tape and silicone, it says here.
And yeah. Alright, Grandad. Oh, Tom. And I came up with 3 things. Fitness, being a massive part of Becca's life, I'm sure she wants to share that with you. 2, hard working. I'm sure most women would expect that from any husband. And 3, DIY skills. Someone who's good around the house, saves you money on them ever elusive tradesmen. I then thought about these 3 things and memories of our Kenny that relate, and I must say, Becca, you struck gold. Firstly, fitness. See, Kenny wasn't always the drunk layabout you see before you today. I remember a time when he was super fit. At the time, Kenny would have been about 13 and he fell out with his first love. Oh, his tutor, Mr. Luca. He'd been sent out of the room. He'd never been in trouble before and he panicked. He panicked. He ran off, he disappeared, he ran away from school. Nobody knew where he'd gone. My parents were panicking, I was laughing. Then at around 8 PM, the phone rang. It was my nana. She said, "Ken, it's okay, he's here." He turned into Lance Armstrong and biked it all the way to Bridlington. By this point, I was grinning from ear to ear. He'd run away from home and he was surely going to be in trouble. No. He was the boy wonder after all. All Mum and Dad could do was worry about how tired he must be.
Are you ready for that one?
Yeah, about how tired he must be, how they'd get him home, and how long they'd have to save for the yellow jersey he so much deserved. Secondly, hard working. For this memory, I had to go back to his 30th birthday. Kenny had been planning a party and wanted to get his granddad ready. He wanted to get his fucking garden ready.
Garden. Oh, spelling.
It's my reading skills,
Every
boy.
strong point.
He wanted to get his garden ready. Anyway. He wanted to get his garden ready.
Twice.
he decided to build some decking. And Kenny being Kenny, he decided to do this 1 week before the party. So me and my dad booked some days off and decided to muck in and help him get the job done. Kenny had already got stuck in building the framing, strong enough to take the Challenger 2 he was so used to seeing in Iraq. All was going well. Then 3 days in, he decided to abandon ship. I'm going to Leeds Fest, he said. Leaving me and my dad to finish the job. And after finishing the job, I asked my dad, how did he get us doing this? The lazy so-and-so, how's he done that? And my dad said, that's what you call delegating. He wasn't lazy, he was a good man manager, and he was on the way to the top. And we're all expecting his boardroom ascendancy any day now. And lastly, his DIY skills. To be fair, I wanted to build a prop, but it didn't happen. And the memory that sticks it out is the bookcase he built as a project. He'd got all the timber, a drop saw from B&Q, and set about building this bookcase. Now I wasn't involved in the project, so could only assess the end product. Held together by duct tape and silicone, with all the shelves different lengths, bowing all the side walls. It was a bookcase that would have looked great in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. And as I gazed upon it, wondering how he could get it so wrong, I couldn't help but think, I bet my mum and dad think that it's a great modern art piece. So as much as it would amuse me to tell you, Becca, that you've got a cowardly, lazy, budget man, what you're really getting, Becca, is a supreme cyclist, an excellent man manager, and an artist. Finally, I'd like to thank you, Becca, for taking on our family's burden. Who, being extremely fit, highly driven, and absolutely stunning today, I will say, will get the best out of our Kenny. And I'm sure he will make a loving husband, a lifelong companion, and hopefully one day, an excellent father. Stand up, lads. I'd like you all to raise your glasses to the guests. Yes, please.